My name is Ben, like she said, and in the back is Marty, and we represent CogRescue, which is a nonprofit group aimed at helping fatherless and orphan children. Our current project is in Kenya, in a town called Ogembo. And if you're familiar with Kenya at all, it's towards the west. Nairobi, the capital, is on the other side. And I can safely say that the kids there are one of the most inspiring things that I've had the privilege of being around. And today I'd like to share their story and ours with you. And in the end, I'd like to open it up for some questions and answers. I think we can get more out of it. I'm going to bring my dad up for all the questions and answers. And that way we can fill in and sum up any of the gray areas that are left. First, the background. Well, the background of the story is in 2007 and 2008, there was a great deal of violence in Kenya. I'll move out of the way so you guys can see. And put a lot of children out on the street. 1,500 people were killed and 250,000 people were displaced, putting countless orphans on the street. And there was two main areas. One was Nairobi, the capital, and the other one was a town called Kisumu. The reason that this is important is Ogembo, the town that we were at, is right to the south of Kisumu. So they got a lot of the collateral damage. A lot of the kids and a lot of the people came down from that. And during this time, my father was contacted by a man named Richard, who had taken in some of these kids to help. The reason he was contacted was because he's a minister. And since there's a lot of scams and a lot of hesitant things coming out of Africa, of course he and like me and everyone in the family were very hesitant for any involvement. And the only way to find out if it was legit was to go there. So, a little bit of a picture. His first trip there, this is a picture of that. Very first meeting. In 2008, he went to Ogembo with one friend who took the picture. And he found that the cause was a true cause, and there was a lot of work to be done. So this is where everything started from this one trip. I'd like to move into some of the progress that we've made. This is a picture of the courtyard of the school. And the overall plan was to give them a home, give them an education, and provide for them in all other means. And the first part of that plan was obviously to build a structure to house them. We accomplished this, and currently it houses 27 orphans. And it can hold up to 60 kids, but right now we can't support any more kids. Also, the beginning part of the plan was to hire on tutors. Since we didn't have a school at this point, we wanted to give them an education inside the facility, so we actually hired some tutors to start instructing inside the facility. And of course, once we had the school built, my father found private investors that were interested in our quest. They provided the resources to support the building of the school, and they actually took Marty in 2010 and visited the structure being built. So this is our school. It is called Wisdom Academy. It educates the children with state approval, currently for grades K through 7th. And as you'll hear in the video that I will show, after only being in operation 6 months, our school placed 7th out of 47 schools in this district for testing, which was great news for us, which means our educational program is working in a very short amount of time. The motto, it's cut off there, but the motto that they put, we didn't put this, is today's struggle is tomorrow's success, which was very uplifting for us to see upon our visit there. And of course, you can see the words Wisdom Academy on there. I wanted to go back. We had uniforms made for our kids. This was one of the other things. They didn't. My father found the first trip that clothing was not very important. They're looking just to survive. So down on the totem pole, just the clothes on their back was not supported. So we wanted to provide the uniforms for the kids, and these are these green uniforms that you see on them today, or in this picture. And one of the stories that he came back with was a very touching story, and it's very similar to what my grandmother was talking about, was the shoes. He had packed up, we had rounded up a big suitcase full of shoes, and because we were told that their shoe situation was less than suitable. Turns out that they had, when I went there, they're kind of flip-flops, tattered clothes, anything and everything that can kind of cover their feet, but they weren't really shoes. So he had given, these shoes were a very big event to give to all these kids, and one particular orphan was named Pentha. After receiving these shoes, the next day was seen not wearing the shoes, which obviously he went up to her and asked Pentha what had happened. There had to be some reason this is a big event, you're not wearing the shoes. He was fearing, you know, they were lost, stolen, something bad had happened to them. And to which she replied, I gave them to Sabella. Sabella needed them more. And Sabella is a handicapped orphan. And Penta is a 7-year-old. So I'm not sure if that's the right age. She's 7 to 9, she's 7. So this 7-year-old, without any hesitation, she gave her shoes to somebody else, which was very moving for my dad. Even when I went there, he made special case, told me that story 5 times through the trip, reminded me who she was, made sure I knew. So it was kind of cool to be there. I wanted to talk about the personal impact that this isn't Penta, by the way. The personal impact that these kids had on me. When I was in college,